So today I'm getting ready to set up my sunroom for incubation. The birds are starting to get a little frisky, so I'm sure there will be eggs soon. But one of the videos I don't think I've covered extensively is hydrometers. I always keep 2 in every incubator. There's a whole process where you can do calibration, but really I just use like one of these cheaper models versus these Govies. I've gone through a couple different variations of these Govies. This is the current model. I really like them. They have a nice big font. They do attach to an app so that it will send you alerts if you get out of the range that you want to be in. Like, for instance, for whatever reason your incubator goes crazy in temperature or drops humidity, it'll send an alert on those. These ones run off of AAA batteries as opposed to the round ones. And they're big and nice and easy to read. So these are the ones that I like, and they're just the Govee Smart Thermo Hygrometer. I think it was $25 for 3 of these. I can add the link into the video later. I do also, these are very common years ago. I bought these ones just because I could get a 12-pack of them. So these I just use to understand, what variance there may be between different hygrometers. These Thermo Pros, this didn't last me. So I'm testing it now, but you can see it's got a pretty big different range and the top cells are starting to fade out. So this one's going to go in the garbage now. So anyway, you can see that generally speaking, my house right now is 67 degrees. We average about 55%. I am in my laundry room, so it's a little higher than the rest of the house. But the temperature is really like we're 0.4 off in temperature and not far off in percentage. So that's generally speaking what I do. I put one of these and one of these in every single incubator that I have. I rely mostly on this one, but I just like to make sure that everything's kind of syncing up. So if I have 2, I know that they're working right. Okay, so we're going to start about incubator setup again. I've done some of these videos in other clip-its, but let's just do a dedicated one. I've referred in the past videos that I like the tabletops for hatching because I get to see through this nice big old window and it makes me happy to see my goslings hatch. So, typically you fill the water channels in the bottom to build your humidity up to the level that you need for your area. And remember that everybody's area is different. Generally speaking, most of the hatching guides say 65 to 70% at lockdown. I tend to do 60 to 65%. I don't like to get up to 70, but that is typically where I incubate from and hatch from. I do always put 2 hygrometers in here. I just spoke about this a little bit. These are the newer models of the Govies. The other ones were about half this size. I still have both, but I just decided to go ahead and upgrade to the bigger ones this time. They do have AAA batteries instead of the cell batteries. And I do always seem to have those in my house. So this just makes more sense. It's easier to read. It's big. And then I put both of them in here because they talk about calibrating them. I just want to know that they're roughly saying the same thing, and they are. So I do try to put them in 2 different places, not directly under the sensors that the incubator have. You just have to find out where your sensors are, like these are those sensors. So, so that I know that I have kind of a pretty equal reading all the way around. I do put a shelf liner down so that when the babies hatch and start trying to figure out their feet, the shelf liner is more grippy than this little plastic tray is. They say this is just supposed to help stop from spray and obviously keeps them from falling in the water below it. But it's not really that easy to grip on. So for safety's sake, just put some of the shelf liner on it that has like the holes, the bubbles you can get at the dollar store or something. If I can find some around here, I will show you what that is. I do know that I referenced it in my videos last year as well. The other thing that I put in my hatchers is a camera. So this one is WGB, and I can put all these links below the video. It does have a USB, and then it does motion activate, so it records everything that the baby's doing. The thing that I like about the Govies over these are super cheap, and most of the time they're within reason to be accurate. But the Govies I like because it does allow you to connect to an app on your phone, and it'll send you an alert if anything goes haywire. Like if your humidity drops to 40, it's going to send you an alert. If your temperature goes over 101 because your incubator's freaking out or whatever, it will tell you. So that's why I choose to use these. And I do always like to have two different kinds so that, again, I know that generally speaking, we've got some consistency. Okay, so this is going to be my second incubator station. This is going to be using my hatching time with my goose trays. And then this will be the hatcher for the eggs in this incubator. So again, I have my 2 control hygrometers in here and the plastic tray. I will add the shelf liner and the distilled water. You do always want to use distilled water in your incubators. It's just better for the equipment. So don't use your tap or well water, use distilled. And then in my cabinets, I just put it down here at the bottom because I don't know if you can see here, this is the sensor arena for the machine. So I want to make sure that I know that we're getting consistent temperature all the way through. I know from last year that it gets about 1 degree cooler down here, and that's okay because I start all my eggs up here, and as they move down, you know, they're maybe getting 0.5 degree as they go down. It's not anything drastic, but by the time they get down here, it's just slightly cooler than it is up here. And there is also another tray for water down here, so the humidity level doesn't vary as much. Okay, so then over here on the other side of my sunroom, I'm going to try eggs in this incubator. I haven't tried it before. I think I referenced this in my earlier video earlier this month. This is new to me, so it's going to be a whole new trial error. So that one's here. This incubator is also new to me, but is from my mentor, my dear friend, Barb. So I have tested it. I know that everything's working after shipping. So I have the trays in here. And then it just dips into, it has a hose that I can just put into a jug of distilled water, and then it regulates all its humidity. Next to it, I did invest into a goose egg rack. So typically, if you saw my videos from last year, I separate my eggs by the pens that they come in. So I'll have a Dorian, a Sebron, and a Mac. And then as I store them for the week, I can either store them in the baskets or in the egg rack. I think I just have to play and see, you know, how many eggs I have going this year with me also doing the whites and Dianas. So I'm prepared to have more. And then again, same thing. I know this regulates its temperature super well, but just for giggles, I'm adding in the hygrometers here at the bottom, along with the extra trays. So that's my general setup, and I'm looking forward to a good baby season.